players back today, how they looked getting back in the field?
Well, who specifically you talking
Like,
about?
I guess, Eddie, Fuller, Porter.
Sean looked fine. Sean looked like he was back to true form. Tony Giardetti made a couple plays out there, so I thought he was fine. We pulled Jeff out early just because he just felt a little twinge, and so we're being very, very precautious with that.
Just talk about, what about Labhart making some plays out there? He listed defensive back. Talk a little bit about his history, what we expect from him.
Yeah, well, his history, he came out for football in the spring, and he'd been, I believe, with the girls basketball team on their service unit, if I'm not mistaken. I think he'd been going up there doing that, wanted to try for football, and really a neat story. I really didn't know who he was until in the springtime. He made a couple plays and looked real quick on defense. He wasn't in the 105 originally. He came down, he and someone else, and then but then we had an injury. We were able to bring him in, and I think he has a legitimate chance to play for us. He reminds me a little bit of Roger Holland. He's got that type of quickness and speed, and so I told him to get ready to play.
Talk a little bit about, I guess, the tempo today. Looked like early maybe you weren't getting the physicality you wanted out of your team. Did that pick up along with the tempo?
It was sporadic. I don't think it was. They had a day off yesterday, and they didn't bounce back the way I expected them to, so I wasn't pleased with that at all. I think they have a day off. They should have bounced back a little bit better than that. Kind of sensitive in pre-practice and stretching. I called them up, talked to them about it. They're very quiet out there. And so there were some things that were pretty good, but overall wasn't acceptable.
What is it you saw in Dustin Harris where he could be on either side of the ball for you in terms of his kind of approach, maybe personality and everything? That he said he's willing to do whatever.
This thing first, it's 40-yard dash time.
Right.
He can run. And he played offense. We really watched him when he came to our camp. I mean, he was a quarterback in high school, did a bunch of things on offense. And I just think that he has a tremendous burst off the ball. So I want to take a look at him. I like what I see. He'll play offense for us some this year as well as defense. I think he's doing a fine job. It's not indicative of what he's not doing on defense as much as he's a player that possibly can do both things for us. And so we're definitely going to use him. But I tell you what, you asked me a question. Other than his speed, he has. Having been a defensive back, I think he knows how to get off the line of scrimmage pretty good. He has a good technique on his releases. He runs really crisp, sharp routes. He caught a dig. He really hasn't caught the ball great. Until today, he caught a pass today, a deep pass. He had a pass interference on Saturday down our left sideline. So that wasn't really his deal. But he caught the ball well today coming back to the football. And we just keep working with him and see what we got there. But he's definitely a talent. He's probably the fastest receiver we have.
Came up with a couple of interceptions today, too, obviously going over. Maybe he said crossover helps guys. I mean, he comes out early, gets a couple of interceptions, obviously also really focused on defense, maybe going offense, help him a little bit there.
Oh, he knows the calls. He knows. We're kind of at that point in camp where everything's at the line of scrimmage, so they hear the same things, and so it's tough to get things going sometimes. I know there's frustration a little bit from our quarterback, possibly in relationship to the defense kind of knowing things, but the harder we make it on us now, the easier it'll be during the season. So we just have to be able to handle that component. But yeah, it does. I think having played offense has made him a better defensive player now. We're talking about Dustin.
Coach, we're kind of coming down to the end of fall in the last week.
I heard yesterday was the end of camp, but it's
yeah. But what in terms of when do you?
Can we go for a few more days? Is that okay with you?
That was okay. I picked that up. I got to write. Can't write the headlines.
I know they blame the editors.
But I have my share of mistakes. I do it all myself too. So yeah.
It's funny whenever you don't have a good headline. It's the editor to put that headline on there.
Yeah. Well,
when you write a bad story, I talk to the editor. I don't know what he's thinking. I
yeah, the headline was horrible.
Okay.
But anyway, I was going to ask.
Camp officially ends on Friday.
Correct.
Just so you know.
So at what point do you want to start solidifying your rotations and getting players comfortable in their roles?
By now. You know, we're headed that way right now, solidifying those things. You know, I still want to go multiple groups. I want the young quarterback to get reps, so he's working down the other end with a kind of a skeleton group down there sometimes. You know, to me, to develop guys, college players, and this is something I learned the hard way my first year. I mean, it's got to be a three-ring circus out there with guys getting reps every which way. And so I do not want a player, scout team, scholarship, starter, backup, 13, 14, to leave that field and not contribute in some way. So we're always going to get reps for those guys. Everybody's going to be a part of it. And the worst thing to do is be out there and not do anything. And then you ask what your value is, and then you don't feel a part of anything. So they're going to get reps, they're going to work, they're going to develop and get better in the process.
Okay, what about as far as your linebacker rotation? Because you have a lot of guys there experienced.
Yeah, we do. We're kind of working through that. I want someone to jump out there and step up. I really didn't feel like maybe Jonathan Stewart a little bit in the scrimmage. Obviously, Sean Porter. I'm waiting for somebody to really step up and tell me who it is. I want them to tell me who it is, and that hasn't happened just yet. I want them to say, watch the tape, Coach. Watch what I did. And, you know, that's the starter. And so I didn't see that on Saturday.
All right.
Thanks, Coach.